Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're talking directly to you, the successful business owner. You've built something truly remarkable, right? Multi-million-dollar revenue, a talented team, loyal customers.
Absolutely, you've done the hard yards.
You've navigated the startup maze, you've survived those scaling pains, and you've clearly established yourself. But here's the thing, the paradox maybe. Why does all the success suddenly feel so complicated?
Yeah.
It's like you've hit this milestone, but now you're standing at what feels like $1 million crossroads.
It's such a common feeling.
Yeah.
And it's because, the challenges at this stage, they're just fundamentally different from those early years.
How so?
Well, think about it. Were you once obsessed over finding those first customers? Maybe just one or two.
Right, just getting anyone.
Exactly. Now you're grappling with retention, maybe customer engagement, but at scale.
Yeah.
And cash flow. It used to mean hoping checks would clear.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah, but now you're dealing with complex working capital optimization, maybe multiple revenue streams. Research actually shows this pretty clearly. Businesses between, say, $1 and $10 million, they're in this unique spot.
Okay.
You've got the complexity of much bigger organizations, but often without those, Fortune 500 level resources.
Right. You don't have a huge finance department or strategy team.
Precisely. So it's not about just doing more of the same stuff that got you here. It really demands more sophisticated strategies tailored for where you are right now.
That makes sense. A crucial distinction. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today into Shawn James's strategic guide, Breakthrough Barriers, Advanced Solutions for Million-Dollar Businesses.
Great resource.
Yeah, our mission is basically to unpack the core insights, the actionable frameworks from this guide, really customize them to help you navigate this complex, but let's be honest, pretty exciting stage of growth.
Definitely exciting.
We want to pull out the most important nuggets, shortcut your path so you feel well-informed and genuinely equipped for whatever your next breakthrough is.
And this guide, it's really built for busy executives like you, people who need results, not just theory.
Practical stuff.
Exactly. It's structured logically. It hits strategic leadership, market dominance, competitive advantage, organizational and operational excellence, and then crucially, it brings it all together with an integration framework for actually making it happen.
Okay.
Each part sort of moves from identifying the problem to the strategy and then right into practical steps, often using these real-world case studies to, make it tangible.
Okay, so let's unpack that core idea first. Success itself creates new challenges, this million-dollar crossroads the guide talks about. What does that actually feel like for a business owner?
It feels like being caught between worlds, honestly. The small business advice you maybe relied on before, it starts to fall short because your scale is just different now.
Right, it's too simplistic.
It can be. But then those enterprise-level solutions, the big corporate strategies, they often feel way too heavy, maybe even irrelevant for your specific situation.
Okay, yeah.
Think about Maria's consulting firm in the guide. She built it up to, $3.2 million, 28 employees. Impressive stuff.
Definitely.
But she said, and this really hits home, I feel like we're running fast but going nowhere. Everyone's busy, but maybe not pulling in the same direction.
The vision void, as the guide calls it.
Exactly. Early on, survival provides clarity, right? Every decision is about staying alive.
Yeah, the focus is sharp.
But success brings complexity.
Yeah.
And that complexity can really cloud that vision you once had.
That sounds incredibly familiar for so many leaders. So if you're feeling that exact way, that dilemma, what kind of frameworks actually help? You mentioned the sense of drifting, even with good financials. How do you fix that without just writing another mission statement nobody reads?
Right, the dusty mission statement problem.
Yeah.
The solution is crafting a truly compelling strategic vision, something that acts as a genuine North Star for the whole organization. It's much more dynamic.
Okay, compelling how?
The guide outlines 5 critical elements. First, specificity without constraint. It needs to guide day-to-day decisions, but still be flexible. Like, become the go-to for mid-market manufacturers needing digital transformation in the Southeast, not just be the best.
More concrete.
Much more. Second, emotional resonance. It has to connect beyond just the paycheck, tap into impact, legacy.
Get people invested.
Exactly. Third, strategic clarity. What will you do? And just as vital, what won't you do? It acts as a filter for decisions.
Saying no strategically.
Precisely. Fourth, measurable milestones. You need quantifiable targets to track progress, celebrate wins.
Make it real.
And finally, fifth, authentic leadership connection. It absolutely has to reflect your core values, your aspirations as the leader. People need to believe you believe it.
Okay, so you craft this compelling vision. But how do you stop it from just being words on paper? How does it actually filter down through the whole company? What's that look like?
That's where the Vision Cascade framework is so powerful. It's designed to make sure everyone, down to the front line, understands how their specific job connects to the big picture.
Okay, cascade. How does that work? Levels.
Exactly. It starts at level 1, executive vision. That's the big overarching direction, maybe 3-5 years out.
The North Star.
Right. Then it cascades to level 2, departmental missions. How does marketing contribute? How does operations? Sales.
Makes sense.
Then level 3, PEEP objectives. These are specific, measurable goals for individual teams, all clearly laddering up.
Getting more granular.
Yep. And finally, level 4, individual goals. Personal performance objectives directly tied to team and company success. The beauty isn't just communication. It turns everyone into a strategic player, aligning their daily work. It creates this unified force.
Can you give us an example? Make it concrete.
Sure. Let's take tech parts manufacturing from the guide. The owner, Jake, was doing $2.1 million, but felt like, his words, just another vendor.
Commoditized.
Totally. His aha moment was realizing his passion wasn't just making parts. It was solving really tough engineering problems for clients.
The challenge itself.
Right. So his vision shifted dramatically to become the preferred partner for manufacturers facing their most complex component challenges, delivering impossible solutions.
That's a strong vision. So what changed?
Everything. That vision drove huge changes. They invested in advanced tech, started hiring engineers instead of just machinists, and actively built a reputation for tackling the projects others rejected.
The impossible ones.
Yeah, exactly. Which meant they could command premium prices. They weren't competing on cost anymore.
And the results for tech parts? What happened?
Pretty amazing. Within 18 months, they weren't a commodity anymore. They were specialists. Revenue jumped 40%.
Wow.
But even better, profit margins doubled because they shifted to value-based pricing. It really shows the power of a clear vision linked to passion.
Okay, let's pivot. Let's talk money. It feels weird to say, but businesses at this multi-million-dollar level, they often run into worse cash flow problems than smaller ones. Why is that?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
The guide calls it the million-dollar cash flow paradox.
Okay, paradox. Explain.
It's because growth itself costs money up front. You need more inventory, maybe new equipment, definitely more people.
Yeah, you invest before you get the revenue.
Precisely. And on top of that, bigger contracts, the kind you're landing now, often come with longer payment terms, net 60, net 90.
Ugh, yeah. Waiting to get paid.
Exactly. So you can have these big cash flow gaps, these valleys, that can seriously stress out even a really profitable business. Think about a construction company needing $200K upfront for a $500K job that pays in 60 days. That ties up a lot of cash.
Okay, that makes the paradox clear. So if basic bookkeeping isn't enough anymore, what kind of advanced financial tools or systems do these growing businesses need to see around those corners?
You need to move from looking backward to looking forward. Proactive financial intelligence. The guide highlights 3 key systems. First, and this is critical, a 13-week rolling cash flow forecast.
Rolling forecast? How's that work?
It's your immediate early warning system, updated weekly. It projects cash in and out for the next 13 weeks. It includes operating cash flow, yes, but also planned capital spending, debt payments, seasonal bumps or dips.
Okay, much more detailed.
And crucially, scenario planning. What if sales diff? What if they jump? Second, advanced key performance indicators, KPIs. Go way beyond just P&L.
Like what?
Predictive metrics.
Yeah.
Days, sales, outstanding, how fast are you getting paid? Inventory turnover, customer acquisition cost versus lifetime value, huge one. Working capital efficiency, your cash conversion cycle, how long does it take from spending $1 to getting it back?
Got it. More sophisticated metrics.
Yes. And third, predictive financial monitoring and scenario planning. Build out scenarios, conservative maybe 15% below plan, expected, and optimistic maybe 25% above. See how each impacts cash, profit, resources. It prepares you.
What really jumps out there is optimizing working capital. You said it's often the biggest source of untapped cash. What are some specific strategies businesses at this level can actually use?
Absolutely. Working capital is key. So for accounts receivable, get disciplined. Implement strict credit checks, especially for larger new clients, say over $5K. Offer early payment discounts. Even something small like 2% net 10 can dramatically speed up cash.
Get cash in the door faster.
Yes. And automate collections where you can. For inventory management, look at just-in-time ordering if it fits your model. Negotiate consignment deals with suppliers. They own the inventory until you sell it. Use ABC analysis to focus effort on your high-value stock.
Smart. And accounts payable, paying bills.
Be strategic. Negotiate better terms with key suppliers, maybe move from net 30 to net 45. Use corporate credit cards for smaller buys to effectively extend payment floats. It's about managing outflows smartly without hurting relationships.
Can you share an example of a company that really nailed this working capital stuff?
Yeah, Service First. $4.2 million IT services company. Profitable, looked great on paper, but the owner, David, was constantly stressed about cash.
Sounds familiar.
He said they'd land a big deal, celebrate, then immediately panic about making payroll next month.
Ouch. So what did they do?
Their turnaround started with that 13-week rolling cash forecast. It immediately showed them they were basically giving free loans to clients.
Uh-huh. The data revealed it.
Totally. So they took action, negotiated progress payments on big contracts, offered that 2% early pay discount, and get this, 40% of clients took it.
Wow, that's significant.
Huge. They got a business line of credit for predictable slow periods, automated collections, and even got better payment terms from their own suppliers.
So what were the results? What changed for Service First?
It was transformative. Their average DSO days sales outstanding plummeted from 52 days down to 31.
Huge improvement.
Massive. Cash reserves went from a scary $15,000 to a comfortable $180,000. No more emergency borrowing. And David, the owner, he finally had the mental space to think strategically, not just react to cash crises.
Okay, so you've got the vision, you've got the finances hopefully getting under control. Let's talk marketing. You've hit multi-millions, so clearly you know how to market. But the guide mentions this stat, B2B buyers do like 67% of their research before they even talk to you.
Yeah, that's a staggering number.
Right, this invisible part of the journey.
Yeah.
That's where deals are getting won or lost now. So how do you market beyond the basics to influence that early stage?
It really starts with getting much, much more sophisticated about advanced market segmentation and persona development. Generic messages are just noise at this level.
Okay, beyond demographic.
Way beyond. You need deep dives into behavioral patterns, their real decision-making criteria, the specific value drivers for your ideal clients, and critically, the guide talks about decision-making unit analysis.
Decision-making unit?
Yeah, mapping out everyone involved in the buy, the economic buyer, the technical buyer, the end user, maybe an internal champion or coach. You need detailed personas for each, understanding their unique concerns, motivations, where they get their info.
That's detailed. So how do you use that insight to become the one they seek out early, the go-to expert?
You do that through content marketing for authority building.
Yeah.
It's about becoming the trusted advisor, not just a vendor. The guide uses this concept of the authority content pyramid.
Pyramid, okay, layers.
3 layers.
Yeah.
The foundation is solid educational content, blog posts, articles, webinars addressing common problems. The middle layer is strategic insights showing your unique perspective, your framework.
Going deeper.
Exactly. And the peak is true thought leadership, proprietary research, original studies, bold viewpoints that shape the conversation in your industry.
Like what kind of content?
Think industry research reports, unique strategic frameworks you've developed, really detailed case studies with hard quantified results, maybe high-profile speaking gigs offering expert commentary on industry trends. This stuff attracts better leads and supports premium pricing.
That makes sense. Build authority. But okay, you're creating all this great content, targeting these personas. How do you actually know what's working? Especially with buyers bouncing around different channels before they ever talk to you.
Yeah, tracking that is tough. You absolutely need multi-channel attribution and ROI optimization. Simple models like last click gets all the credit just don't work anymore.
Right. They miss the whole journey.
Completely. A buyer might see a LinkedIn post, visit your site, attend a webinar, get some emails, then finally call after seeing a case study. Which touch point gets the credit?
Good question.
You need advanced models. First touch attribution tells you what brings awareness. Multi-touch shows influence across the journey. Last touch highlights what closes the deal. Time decay gives more weight to recent touches.
Okay, different models for different insights.
Exactly. And that data is gold for optimizing your budget. You see what's really driving valuable leads and what's not, so you can shift resources effectively.
Can you give us an example of a company that put this sophisticated marketing into practice?
Sure, Professional Services, Inc., a $5 million firm. But they were struggling with low-quality leads, always competing on price. The founder, Sarah, said their proposal win rate was stuck around 15%.
Ouch, price wars.
Yeah. So they made a bold move, repositioned themselves from just a service provider to a high-level strategic advisor, and they backed it up with authority marketing.
How? What did they do?
They conducted original research, published a big state-of-the-industry report that got a lot of attention. They created their own proprietary strategic framework for clients, launched an executive interview series featuring industry leaders.
Building that peak content.
Yeah, exactly. And behind the scenes, they built sophisticated email nurturing based on personas and used lead scoring to see who was really engaged.
Okay, that sounds comprehensive. What was the impact on their business? Did it work?
Did it ever? Lead volume actually dropped by 30%.
Wait, drop?
Dropped, but lead quality shot up by 180%.
Okay. Quality over quantity.
Bingo. And look at the results. Proposal win rate jumped from 15% to 42%. Average deal size went up 65%. And the sales cycle got 25% shorter.
Wow. That's a powerful case for authority marketing.
Absolutely, it shifted the entire conversation away from price.
Okay, this is great progress. But it makes me think, as businesses scale, you often hear about organizational antibodies, right? The culture itself starts resisting change. The very things that made you successful can become barriers. How do leaders deal with that kind of inertia?
That is a really profound challenge at this stage. The guide points out common resistance sources. Things like success complacency, the if it ain't broke, don't fix its mentality.
Right, why rock the boat?
Exactly. Plus loss aversions, people fear losing what they have, fear their skills might become obsolete, maybe even an identity threat. This isn't who we are, and of course, worries about resources for the change.
So how do you break through that inertia that seems to get stronger with success?
You need deliberate inertia-breaking strategies. The guide talks about creating urgency, why change now? Demonstrating possibility, showing what the future could look like, and making change feel inevitable, not optional.
How do you do that tactically?
Things like sharing competitive intelligence. Look what the competition is doing. Celebrating learning from failures makes trying new things safer. Implementing small, visible wins early on to build momentum. Creating cross-functional innovation teams to break down silos, and actually establishing metrics around innovation.
Measuring innovation itself.
Yes. And it's also helpful to use frameworks like the 3-Horizon Innovation Model. Horizon 1 is improving the core business. Horizon 2 is exploring adjacent emerging opportunities. Horizon 3 is the truly transformational, maybe disruptive stuff. It helps balance today with tomorrow.
Can you share a story about a cultural shift, maybe a family business dealing with these generational issues?
Absolutely. 3-generation construction. A 4-year-old company, solid reputation. But they hit a crisis when the founder's grandson, fresh MBA, joined.
Ah, the clash of old and new.
Big time. The established culture valued hands-on experience, informal chats. The new generation wanted structured processes, data, technology, huge resistance to tech adoption from the older guard. Different work styles, everything.
Sounds tense. How did they navigate that?
They tackled it head-on, did a proper culture assessment first, created a blended leadership team, mixing veterans with younger folks. They introduced technology gradually with lots of support and training. And they set up two-way mentoring, younger staff teaching tech, older staff sharing deep industry wisdom.
Mutual respect, bridging the gap.
Exactly. Building bridges, not walls.
And what happened? What was the impact of blending those approaches?
It was remarkable. Revenue grew 85% in 2 years. Employee engagement scores jumped 40%. And technology adoption hit 90% across all age groups, which was huge. It also paved the way for a successful succession plan. Shows that even really ingrained cultures can change.
That's encouraging. Okay, we've covered so much vision, finance, marketing, culture change, but the guide really stresses that you can't do it all at once. Transformation needs systematic prioritization.
That's absolutely critical. Trying to boil the ocean guarantees you just get lukewarm water.
Right.
The guide introduces a really practical tool, the impact effort matrix for prioritizing initiatives.
Impact effort. How does that work?
Simple but powerful. You plot every potential initiative on a grid. How much effort will it take versus how much impact will it have? This instantly shows you 4 categories.
Okay, what are they?
Quick wins. High impact, low effort. Do these immediately. Build momentum, get runs on the board.
Makes sense. Get some wins.
Major projects, high impact, high effort. These are your big strategic bets. Plan them carefully, sequence them thoughtfully.
The heavy lifts.
Right. Then fill in projects, low impact, low effort. Fit these in when you have spare capacity, but don't prioritize them.
Okay.
And finally, questionable projects.
Yeah.
Low impact, high effort. Generally, avoid these like the plague or figure out how to redesign them. They just drain resources.
So the matrix helps you focus. But is there a logic to sequencing the high impact stuff?
Yeah.
In order to tackling things?
Yes, definitely. The guide lays out some key strategic sequencing principles. Number 1, Address serious cash flow problems first. Always. Financial instability derails everything else.
Got it. Stabilize the foundation.
Exactly. Second, build necessary organizational capabilities before you launch big growth pushes. Need better project management? Build that before you take on massive new projects.
Prepare the ground.
Right. Third, get measurement systems in place early. How will you track progress if you can't measure it? Fourth, create those early wins we talked about, builds momentum and belief. And fifth, sequence things that depend on each other logically. Don't launch the marketing campaign before the product is ready.
Seems logical, but easy to mess up in the heat of battle. So how does this translate into an actual plan, like a roadmap for the next year?
The guide suggests a 12-month implementation roadmap broken down quarterly, provides a solid structure.
Okay, walk us through the quarters.
Quarter 1, foundation building. This is where you clarify that vision, implement those advanced financial systems, maybe do a capabilities assessment, and launch some quick wins. Solidify the base.
Makes sense. Q2.
Quarter 2, market position strengthening. Now you focus outward, sharpen your competitive positioning, enhance customer experience, launch those authority-building marketing efforts, maybe develop strategic partnerships.
Building momentum.
Right. Quarter 3, operational excellence. Turn inward again. Optimize key processes, implement needed technology, invest in talent development, maybe formalize quality management, tune the engine.
Getting efficient.
Exactly. And quarter 4, growth and expansion. Now you execute on market expansion, scale up the initiatives that proved successful, and start planning for the next year's cycle.
That's a really clear, actionable framework. Last piece, maybe, measurement. What gets measured gets managed, but measuring everything manages nothing. How do you build an executive dashboard that focuses on the right stuff without drowning in data?
That's the art and science of it, right? Building your executive dashboard needs discipline. Key principles. Keep it to one page or screen if possible. Focus heavily on forward-looking indicators, not just past results.
Predictive, not just historical.
Yes. Include a balance of financial and operational metrics, use charts and visuals for quick understanding, and update it weekly, looking at trends, not just snapshots.
What are the must-haves on that dashboard?
Your 13-week cash flow forecast, definitely. Your sales or revenue pipeline. Some measure of customer health, like retention or satisfaction scores, employee engagement, maybe a market position indicator, and clear tracking of progress on your key strategic initiatives from the roadmap.
And course correction. How often do you review and adjust?
The guide recommends regular course correction strategies, monthly progress reviews against the plan, and deeper quarterly strategic reviews to reassess assumptions, check leading versus lagging indicators, and make adjustments as needed. It's a living process.
Wow. We've covered a ton of ground today, a real deep dive into how these million-dollar businesses face such unique challenges, but also how there are these sophisticated yet really practical solutions available.
Absolutely.
We've seen how getting that vision right, cascading it down, mastering the finances with advanced tools, shifting to strategic customer acquisition, leading change effectively, and then integrating it all with a prioritized plan, how that can drive huge breakthroughs.
And it's worth remembering, what makes a business truly anti-fragile, the one that don't just survive tough times, that actually get stronger.
Right, benefit from disruption.
Exactly. It's about building systems that improve under stress. Things like creating options, building in some redundancy, designing for adaptability, decentralizing decisions where possible, and always fostering experimentation.
The guide really hammers this home. Transformation isn't about finding some magic silver bullet. It's about consistent, disciplined execution of fundamentally sound strategies.
That's the core message.
And if you're listening, you've already reached this million-dollar level because you know how to execute. You've proven that. So the real question now is, what from all this will you apply with that same discipline, that same insight to reach your next level? Your breakthrough really does begin now.